These are very good.
Thank you. You're not in the market by any chance, are you?
Oh, I might be. Are they for sale?
Yes, through a small gallery I use. I could let you have a card before you go. Right. Now.
There's just one question, Miss Hazlitt. Is it possible that Claire Brewster knew that her husband was about to leave her?
I don't think so. I know Matthew was very worried about how she might take the news. He certainly wasn't eager to tell her.
I see.
Is that it?
Yes, that's it.
Right, I'll let you have that card. That one's not for sale, Chief Inspector.
Oh?
No, it's a private commission. The setting's somewhere in Wales. Do you like it?
Very much.
Well, there's my card. The gallery's not very far out of town.
Thank you. I look forward to going.
Chief Inspector, one thing. Your question. Why don't you ask Claire?
I'm afraid I can't. Claire Brewster is critically ill in hospital. Well, I'll leave you in peace. Where the hell have you been?
Brewster's clinic, sir. Something I wanted to check.
Well, have you come up with something?
Yeah. But whether it's relevant or not, I don't know. This morning I went down to the Radcliffe Infirmary. Mark Felsham showed me Claire Brewster's medical file. According to the file, she was in the Radcliffe for treatment on June the 10th, 1989, right? Now, yeah. In the trial transcript, the Brewster's QC quotes 3 successful operations, similar to Avril Steppings, as proof of the Brewster's competence. Even gave the dates. One of those operations took place on June the 10th, 1989.
So what did you find out at the clinic?
Claire Brewster signed as the anaesthetist that day. So, I checked against all the dates given in Felsham's medical records, found 2 other examples of her being in 2 places at the one time. If nothing else, sir, proves Michael Steppings was right. That was one dodgy clinic. The proof was right here in the trial transcript all the time. If you compare it to the clinic's records, I mean.
But you'd have to be told what was in the transcript, wouldn't you? And know what to compare it with.
Yeah, obviously.
You said that Steppings had asked for a transcript. When was that?
Don't know, sir. I could soon find out, though.
Yes, do that, would you, Liz?
Oh, hello. You have a patient there, Claire Brewster. I'd just like to know how she is. No, a friend, close friend. I see. No. Thank you very much.
Michael Steppings asked for the transcript 9 months ago. That's more than a year after the trial. Why? It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't it? It was shortly after Wendy Hazlitt started work at Burnley Green. And what if she told him where to look?
The transcript itself isn't enough.
Was that break-in at the clinic, Lewis? What was it you said? Some filing cabinets were damaged. Now, when was that?
8 months ago.
Hazlitt starts work at Burnley Green, and then suddenly Michael Steppings wants a transcript of the Brewster trial. He gets one, and there follows a break-in at the clinic. There's nothing taken. No drugs, no equipment. The intruder contents himself with rummaging through some files.
It has to be coincidence. Hazlitt and Steppings, he threatened her. Tried to have her sacked. Oh, they were enemies.
I was at her home, Lewis. I saw a painting. It was by her. It was recent. And for my money, it was of the view from Stepping's window. Now, how was it done if they're such enemies?
But he had an alibi. The man had an alibi. He's saying the witness lied.
Why not? All I know is that if I'm right about that painting, and I think I am, then she's lied to me. Not only about the painting, but about how well she knew Steppings.
Chief Inspector, these prints, they're identical. Margaret Jeffries and Wendy Hazlitt are one and the same person.
Miss Wendy Hazlitt,
Yes.
we'd like you to come with us, Miss Hazlitt.
Look, I'm afraid I can't. I'm going away.
No, you're not.
Yeah, check it on that one. It's gone, sir. Left in a hurry by the look of it.
Call the hospital, ask if he's been there. If he hasn't, then he's not gone. And I want that hospital watched at all times.
Right, sir.
Let me be clear about this, Miss Hazlitt. You were an unqualified person, and yet you were acting as an anaesthetist at the Brewster Clinic.
When Claire became ill, she had to cut her workload. They couldn't afford a qualified replacement, so Matthew asked me if I would help out. He knew I wouldn't refuse. I was to handle only minor cases when Claire wasn't feeling up to it or had to go into the Radcliffe. And it worked. Until Avril Steppings came in. I didn't give her enough anesthetic. When Matthew started to cut, she went into cardiac arrest. I panicked, froze.
Where was Claire Brewster?
Lying down in her office. By the time she got to theatre, the damage had been done.
You told the court you followed the proper procedure.
Yes. And after all that, when I'd helped him, I'd risked imprisonment, ruined the young girl's life, Matthew Brewster rejected me. I suddenly saw him for what he was. He was just an old man wanting a bit on the side. So I decided he was going to pay for that.
You didn't have the stomach for it yourself, so you went to Michael Steppings. Is that why you took the job at Burnley Green?
Well, I had to judge the strength of his feeling. He'd made threats in court, but anyone can make threats. That first time he saw me by Avril's bedside, I knew what he was capable of. So I told him the truth. Look, he understood that it hadn't been my fault, that I'd been used.
And the alibi?
6 months ago, Steppings gave me the money to buy a house in Harrogate. I gave my name as Margaret Jeffries.
What happened in the pub?
When I arrived, Steppings had already left. I waited a while, then gave the barmaid the checkbook.
You said that Brewster ended the affair, but you told Sergeant Lewis that you and Brewster intended to get married.
Well, that was a lie, of course.
But John Brewster confirmed it.
John Brewster knew what was going on at the clinic. On the night of the killing, Steppings called John. He said he had proof of malpractice. Now, Steppings said that he knew the Brewsters couldn't be retried for Avril, but there were other cases. There would be fresh trials. And all that would mean for Claire. If John wanted to help his mother, he was to go to Steppings' house and wait there till 9:30. If Steppings hadn't arrived by then, he had to come back the following day. Well, Steppings didn't show.
He was in the garage killing Brewster.
Yes. But he'd got John out of the way, ensuring that he had no alibi. The next day, Steppings actually told John what he'd done. He pointed out John's options. If he went to the police, Steppings would publish his evidence of malpractice. If he didn't, John had to ask himself the question, could his mother survive another trial, possible imprisonment? He must have thought not. He agreed to admit to the murder in exchange for Steppings withholding his evidence.
But it was always possible that John's confession would finish his mother off, and then he'd be free to tell the truth.
But what would that truth be, Lewis? That Michael Steppings was the killer? As far as we were concerned, Brewster had already tried to frame Steppings. And what of Miss Hazlitt? Why should we suppose that she'd lie for Michael Steppings? They were mortal enemies, weren't they? And then there was Steppings' alibi. Now, how could John Brewster possibly account for that when they managed to fool us? By the time we'd taken Brewster seriously, Hazlitt and Steppings would be... Where, Miss Hazlitt?
Anywhere I wanted to go. Steppings promised to take care of me after John Brewster had been put in prison.
Take care of you. Something tells me that's exactly what he would have done.
Nothing from the hospital, sir. Must be out of the country by now.
Just can't believe that he'd abandoned his daughter.
Been almost 16 hours.
What about his car? Someone must have seen it. It's hardly inconspicuous.
Yeah, Lewis. Right, thanks. Claire Brewster, sir. Died at 6 this morning.
His mother's been dead for 2 hours, Lewis. Brewster's free to tell the truth, yet he hasn't contacted us. Why?
You're right, sir. He didn't abandon her.
Sir, I found this with his bags.
Dear Mr. Morse, when you get this, I'll be long gone. I always knew I'd have to take off, only not so soon. I don't know what you found out, so here's something for you. Hazlitt was my alibi. I didn't like deceiving you. I really didn't. And don't worry about Avril. My ex-wife will take care of her.
Stepping said he had deliberately marked the anonymous letters. He said if the police were halfway clever, they'd trace the letters to him. I was to say the letters had been sent to my father. The tape I was to put in Jane's locker.
How did he find out Jane was a member of the Sub-Aqua Club?
Through me. He'd watched the family for months. Jane's hobby had been a real find, he said. It had helped him decide on how he'd kill my father. He stayed in the garage the whole time, you know. Poetic justice, he called it. My father had stood and watched his daughter. Now he could do the same. And just as his daughter was alive, but not alive, some mother would spend her remaining time with me in prison.
Why did you kill him?
I didn't intend to kill him. When I got to his house, he was about to leave. I pleaded with him. I'd kept my part of the bargain. I couldn't help it if it hadn't worked out. He wouldn't listen. He said if Mother recovered, it would be to find her name in all the papers. I tried to prevent him from leaving. There was a wrench lying on the... and I hit him. He was monstrous, Chief Inspector. Monstrous.
Was he, Mr. Brewster? Your parents and Nurse Hazlitt ruined his daughter's life. And for no other reason than to save money. You knew that, and you stood by them. If Michael Steppings was monstrous, Mr. Brewster, he was made monstrous.
Can I help you?
I've come to see Avril Steppings.
Are you a relative?
No, nothing like that. Her father and I were friends for a while. That's all.
Well, I'm afraid Avril's no longer with us. Her mother arrived and asked us to take her off the life support system.
I see.
I'm so very sorry.
What's wrong?
He's not there anymore, Liz.
Ah. Seems a shame to waste them, sir. Red roses, about the most expensive flowers around.
Not really. I sent her some flowers once before. They had a much higher price tag.
Right in there.